for the Wolves?
I'm Michael Alberts from Langford, South Dakota. I play inside linebacker, and it's my 5th year, so I'm a 5th-year senior.
Tell me about getting back on the field. I mean, it must be fun after a long summer of work.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to get back running, doing actual football stuff instead of lifting all the time or running. Just getting back to our defense, to playing against each other was a lot more fun.
Tell me about this year's team, Mike. What are some of the things that's going to be good about this year's Wolves?
I think we got a lot of returners. We lost, some big leaders last year in Logan Dosch, Jason Gaditz defensively. And I think we're just going to keep improving on what we have been doing and keep getting better, and I can't wait for the season to get started.
Talk about being a senior. You're from Langford. Talk about being a senior and watching Northern State football probably since you were a little kid.
Yeah.
And now you're a senior. You got a real chance to impact.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
It's actually pretty crazy. You just think about it. You feel like you just got here, and now all of a sudden you're a senior going into your last year. So the only thing you can do is just got to prepare yourself. You want to end your career right, so you got to go out and give it your all and help everyone out as much as you can, and just give it your all and do your best.
I'm Tanner White. I'm a junior receiver from Ellendale, North Dakota.
Tell me about, it must be fun to get back out on the practice field after a long summer.
Absolutely,
working off.
yeah.
So tell me about that. How did the first day go?
The first day went good. We got cut a little short because of lightning, unfortunately, but like you said, go all summer with workouts, and it's good to be out there and put the pads on and go for real.
Tell me about this year's team. What is going to be some of the good points about the Wolves this year?
Well, I think we got a lot to improve on from last year. Our receiving core seems to be one of our deeper positions. As of last year, we really didn't have that, so it's nice having that in, and having Jared as a senior, having that leadership is nice for us. Makes it easier. I think our offense will be a lot more explosive this year and be able to expand on big plays and do what we can, keep the D off the field.
And it's fun to be in such a real competitive conference. I know it's hard, but that's what you guys want. You want to face the best.
Absolutely.
Week in and week
Yep.
out. Talk about that.
Yeah, like you said, we like to play the best competition, and we get that week in and week out. And we got Winona coming up, and that's what we got our eyes circled on.
Real hard the last 4 months. 3-4 months in the weight room and with conditioning and running and all that, but obviously what we're shooting for is become a better football team, and the only way you can do that is go out and actually practice. So it was good to do it, good to see, and it's pretty typical first day stuff. You got older veteran guys who know what they're doing and going to the right spots all the time, and we got a lot of new guys, 30-some new guys who don't know what they're doing and aren't always going to the right spots. So it's always good to get the kinks worked out a little bit, and we prep and talk about it all a lot, but ultimately you got to get out there and do it and be able to practice and get guys in the right spot. So there's more organizational things in practice one than there's going to be probably in any of the other practices, just to get everybody on the same page and going to the right spot. That being said, we've got enough older veteran guys, 70-some returning guys running around out there that know what they're doing and know where they're going, that you're still able to get a lot of good work done and get practice done, and just have the young guys following behind as it goes.
Tell me about this year's team. What you think some of the strengths will be and some of the places you really have to work on?
Well, right off the bat, you look at the returning guys we've got at a number of different spots. Offensively, anytime you have your quarterback back, that's a good thing, especially when you run a offense like we do, where we center a lot of stuff around what we do with Jared. And he's going into his, I guess, it'd be 3.5 years as a starter. So you can't replace that as far as the guy who's taking a snap at every down. Depth that we have at some positions is really, really good. At the wide receiver position, we've got a lot of competition. We've got a lot of question marks, but we got a lot of depth there too. We've got a unique combination of some older guys that have played some and some younger guys who haven't played at all, who are really pushing them. And obviously we're 1 day into camp, so you're not going to make any evaluations off of that, but that'll be interesting. We feel good about our tight end position with some of the guys we've got returning there. Connor Doherty being an all-conference guy, Cody Kraft, Ben Jastrom, and Spencer Flackus, all being guys that have played quite a bit of football here for us. And then, several question marks on the offensive line, but again, probably collectively, our offensive line maybe worked as hard or harder than any group we had this summer in terms of running and lifting and stuff, and they've really gotten themselves in good condition, so you hope that carries over to improved performance on the field. And defensively, we typically play a lot of guys on defense. We do return several guys in the front seven, you know, and we rotate a lot of guys in at those 7 spots, at defensive line and linebacker. So we've got several guys: Jalen Bibbs, Ryan Waybrecht, Cameron Pudwell, Tanner Lopez, guys who have played a lot, Mike Alberts, Devin Olson, Trevor Heining. So we've got some guys that have played quite a bit, Andrew Bell, and now it's a matter of continuing to plug other guys in. And then we've got some other guys, Scott Taggart and Dakota Lutz, on the defensive line who have played as well. So we like our depth there and continued competition there. And then, you know, we graduated some guys out of the secondary last year, and you know, especially at safety. And so we got to see what you know, how things go down there. The returners we've got at corner, Paul Woodward and Blaine Smith and Channing Barber, all played a lot of football for us, so they bring us a lot of experience there. And much like quarterback on offense, cornerback on defense is a good place to have people back, because, you know, you're out there on an island, and got our kicker and our punter back too. So, you know, with Adrian Krupka and with Nathan Shaw, you know, so I think with that we've got enough competition at spots, but we've got enough veteran guys that we hope can continue to push it. And there's certainly nothing guaranteed, but you know, we've got guys that have played quite a bit, and I like what they've done in the last 8 or 9 months in terms of their work ethic and how they've gotten better as well.
Sure. And tell me about, you know, in a great conference that you guys play as one of the best in Division II. Tell me the depth, boy, the depth, you have to have the depth, don't you?
Yeah, you really do, John, and depth is really critical for a number of reasons. One, you need to have competition created at practice every day. You know, we only have 11 games a year, we got a lot of practices, so you've got to have enough guys to compete and get guys pushing each other, because that's how you get better. And so the competition is good for practice sake, and it's also, our depth is good for practice sake, and it's also certainly it's a contact sport. You're going to get some guys banged up, and so you want to have that depth there to, when you do lose a guy or two for a period of time, that you've got somebody to fill in. And then as the season wears along, you know, when you do play in a physical conference against good quality opponents like we do, you know, you've got to have that depth. So if you get banged up a little bit, you don't want a huge drop off from your 1s and your 2s, and that's really what you're shooting for, that you can be rotating guys in and playing a lot of guys. You know, I talked about that earlier. We play a lot of guys on defense, and we play quite a few guys on offense too. So you want to be able to continue to have that depth to push your team within itself to compete, to stay injury free, and then also to, once you get into your conference season, that you're able to stay fresh and keep guys healthy.